Hello! Hopefully you've got lots of things from outdoors to make some tools with, grasses, etc. And you've collected your tea and coffee and turmeric, and we've even got some mud here that we've made nice and wet ready to print with. And if you haven't got those natural dyes, you can use paints if you have paints at home. I've got some watercolour here as well. So once you've got all your things together, then just think about the fact it might be a little bit messy. So I've got some sheets down here. You might want to wear an old t-shirt or something. Turmeric especially is quite difficult, if not impossible, to get out of things, so bear that in mind. The aim is to make a landscape or scene, with trees, bushes, fields, maybe some people, animals. But for now, I'd just like you to really have some fun experimenting with mark making using what you've got here. So we had a go at doing some of that. We've got, by rubbing some of the flowers, you've got these lovely yellows and the greens, some washes with some tea and coffee. You can see here different sticks making different textures. Once you've got some nice washes and they've dried, you can add more detail with the mud and with the acorns. And here you've got some added turmeric, almost like a paste, which creates this nice strong yellow. And you can have a go at doing some bark rubbing here. And that, if you were doing a collage, you could cut that out and make tree branches with that eventually. So really it's just about having some fun with the materials. And our paper can tend to get a little bit warped when you add the water, so if you do have access to watercolour paper, you can add a lot more water here, which helps actually spread the colour of the natural dyes, and you get less warp here. So you can see here you've got some quite fine line with the mud and with the acorn printing, and underneath this wash of tea and coffee with more defined lines once that's dried over here. You can see this texture here, which is done by scratching the fir cone into the paper with the inks. So really, yeah, just try and enjoy these materials. So if you were doing your wash onto the paper with the water, if you're using watercolour, you can wash some water on to start with, and then take your tool, dip it in your dye or your paint, and then that should spread more easily onto the paper. Once that's dried, as I said, you could then add some detail with the acorn. So I'm dabbing that with some water into my mud, and then you can make some shapes and patterns if you want. I've got this lovely paste here, a little bit of water. You can even use your fingers, although that could get even more messy, to add some colour in here. So you're starting to see what you can do with what you've got. And I will show, just after I've spoken, some photographs of some things we might be aiming for with our landscape, some Van Gogh work and some Kandinsky, just to give you an idea of where we might be heading. But first of all, really just get messy, have some fun with the flowers. You can literally just rub into the paper. You get this beautiful vibrant yellow here. So remember, not picking fresh flowers, just things that have fallen or got broken is ideal. So have a great time, and when you've done all your experimenting, we'll come back and we'll start to have some ideas to form a picture. See you soon.